Let's listen to more people who are quite cracking.
I feel like the lack of money that people have now is really just starting to compound anxiety, depression, anger. They're short fuse. People are just getting, it's even worse to me this year than it was last year, but fuses are getting shorter. You see people that any kind of issue comes up, whether they're in a store, just anywhere, people are just automatically, they're getting the shakes, they're getting angrier faster, that people are not having the amount of patience they used to have. It really comes down to emotional intelligence, and people are not able to manage this anymore. And I'm starting to see people break. I see people constantly all day, and it just seems like it's starting to just compound.
It feels like this all can turn into chaos at any moment.
So the thing with the bald-headed boss man you see on your screen right now, right? I want to play the bongo drums on his head. But the point is, he is making a lot of good points. People are cracking up, and this has been a theme that I've been pointing out in some of my more recent videos, is people are losing their temper, people are cracking up, you're seeing public breakdowns. I'm sure there's going to be more and more videos going viral of people recording secretly on their phone, other people in public transport or in a grocery store or at work who are just completely having a mental breakdown because they're financially living an unsustainable life, people having short-tempered with each other and snapping on each other. People just can't handle the stress, right? And it reminds me of movies. I haven't watched the Purge movie, but lots of this type of chaos, social instability is because a lot of the financial situation, rather than all blaming it on migrants or political correctness and government censorship and things like that. Anxiety, depression and anger, right? ADA, right? It's quite a common pattern. You can see, right? He's noticing it, I'm noticing it. There's lots of more road rage. I've noticed that I got on Uber, which is like 1 hour Uber around London after visiting some friends and family a few months back, and there were so many instances of road rage, people not following the rules of the road, and my Uber driver was doing a good job. He wasn't coming in anyone's way, but just looking around, people beeping their horns, people shifting lanes when they shouldn't, and I noticed that a lot, right? You notice this all the time. There's a lot more road rage. Let me know in the comments, right? It's because people are just stressed out about everything, right? And they're just like, fuck everyone else, I'm trying to get ahead, screw everyone else, how can I use everyone so I can live a good life? That's what it's become, right? So I can survive. People are stepping on each other's corpses, right? Financial corpses. It's unsustainable. People are flipping out and nothing's working correctly as it should. You're paying all this high tax. Even basic public services are not working as they should. It's all crumbling.
Now I think it's starting to work these days. It's starting to affect the third level of people. These are the people who really like their career. These are the people who like the job. These are the people that with their morning coffee, they sip a little bit of the corporate Kool-Aid. The people who was just like the company woman. They're like, I'm sticking around. I like it here. It's starting to get to them too. And here's the thing. The other two things, the Great Resignation, quiet quitting, those were deliberate. People did that on purpose. The reason why researchers and economists are so nervous about this quiet cracking thing is because it's not deliberate. You don't set out to do it. It just starts happening. People, they just aren't happy at work. And what's scaring companies and corporations is that their performance is starting to suffer. And I looked at a couple different articles. Some of them said $438 billion worth of lack of productivity. Other ones said $2.2 trillion lack of productivity. That money's being lost because people's performance is down. Who knows which one is right? It depends on which media source you do. But like this is happening worldwide. Just like people who want to be productive and who are trying to stick around and who are trying to stay at the job are just slowly finding themselves just like cracking up. They just like can't, but they're having mental breakdowns, or they're coming into work, but they're just not being as productive as they used to be or they could be because they just don't see the point. You know, nurses and a lot of people in the healthcare field are at the top of this list. Like nurses are saying like, hey, I like being a nurse. I got into this job to like help people. But these days, all I do is paperwork. It don't seem like we're helping people. Doctors are like, all I do is prescribe drugs. It don't seem like I'm getting people getting healthy. You know what I mean? And so many other people in so many different fields, it's just like they don't feel fulfilled at work. They don't feel like they're making a difference. It just seems like the job is pointless. And when they think about getting another job, they're just like, well, the job market's horrible. I got to stay here. But you know, if I say anything and try to push back or maybe change some things here, I'm going to be the first one on the chopping block when AI comes through and they looking to cut people. So people are feeling trapped. And so they're at work, but they're just like, and they're trying to be productive, but they're not. You know, you found yourself in one of those "why am I doing this" moments. You know, you work and you found yourself like you just stopped and was like, "What am I doing? like why am I doing this?" You know what I mean? Like, what point? And we know the point is the paycheck. But here's the thing: as humans, you got to give us more than that, right? You have got to give us more than that because we're more complex than that. At the end of the day, we understand like money is not real. We created money. And yes, money's great and it can do wonderful things for us, but you have to give us more than money, right?
See, this is what's happening in people's lives. It's not just their career. They want to progress in their life. Maybe they want to build a family. Maybe they want to grow in their career, but they can't seem to get ahead in any way. And a lot of these terms that have come up in recent years, there to be a lot of gaslighting around it. Like if you're working a job, you're not getting ahead. You just want to burn out, crash and burn in the sense of quiet quit and do less work until you get a layoff or they fire you, right? And you want to get paid for several months for not doing much work. They're going to call you lazy, but they're not going to call a company out for screwing you over, because the company is screwing you over because they're not helping you in your career, and you're realizing it's easier for you just to do less work and just get paid for doing less work. And then you had the great resignation where people are quitting their jobs because they were stressed out and they're looking for better opportunities. And then you had the quiet cracking, which is what we're covering in this video, where people are dealing with a lot of burnout. They're not going to point out in trends that companies are underpaying employees, that company extorting these to work longer hours and make the same amount of money, not keeping salaries up with inflation. That's never going to get pointed out. And when you have this level of breakdown, it's very notable because, like he says, top level employees, and I know people like this who are getting quite paid well, high six-figure salaries, and they're dealing with burnout. They're stressed out with all the bureaucracy, and the system's getting to everyone, not even people who are well-paid jobs. Like he says, even people who love their job, even though that sounds ironic, they are actually stressed out about things now. And it realized that the system is kind of flawed in every single way, and people can't even have free speech. You see in the UK, there's a heavy breakdown of free speech. There's lots of censorship. You see it to a certain extent in America. You're not allowed to criticize certain migrants who might be committing more crime. That's politically incorrect. You can't criticize that country in the Middle East that is dictating America's foreign policy, or the UK's free speech laws, all types of different things, right? You can't go to work and point out that your pay's not in line with inflation, because they're going to see you as someone who's ungrateful for keeping your job, and they're going to see you as someone who's complaining for no reason, even though it's completely valid. Your pay's not keeping up with inflation. If you're a man, you can't point out the bias in favor of women. You'll get labeled misogynistic. All these type of things, you're saying about something and they're getting cancelled, like Kanye West. We saw all these type of scenarios in different ways, right? You end up feeling suffocated, trapped in your life, no progress and no real step forward, and nothing positive's happening. So you have this cycle of monotony, like a hamster wheel you're going around, and you're just spiraling down. It's like a downward negative spiral many people are in, right? And the thing is, because what people really want, and what he's saying here about a nurse, for example, someone who becomes a nurse probably knows they're not going to make tons of money unless you're a registered nurse and you're maybe a more senior nurse. You're going to end up thinking like, why am I doing my job? Because I have a purpose. But people are losing that purpose too, right? Because what people want is a good balance of having a decent paycheck and a decent amount of purpose. A paycheck and purpose is what people are looking for. But they can't really live a purposeful life if they're wasting all their time with bureaucracy and time wasting just to keep this system appearing to be operating as it should, and they're not getting paid enough to really live a decent quality of life. They're just giving up all around. Now here's one that shows how someone can go from quiet cracking to loud cracking.
I just want to know why it's so hard to get a job, man! In 2025, it is literally impossible, bro! When you do, you get 7 rounds of interviews for some reason, man! Just for them to go with another candidate. You cannot find a job in 2025. It is literally impossible, and I keep crashing out about it. How the f*** are we ever gonna find a job? Why is it so hard, man? It should never be this hard.
So I know he's crashing out there, and this is what I mean. It's kind of weird when you see a lot of men doing this, because we're used to seeing women doing it because women are naturally more emotional. But when you see men doing it, it is kind of worrying, right? It goes from, oh, this is kind of cringe, for the top. Like, what you're going to do when you have millions of young working age, military age men who can't find a job crashing out, right? They're going to become political politically extreme on one or the other, right? You have a lot of talented people being pushed out the workforce. They've been lied to the education system. They're in a lot of debt for student loan debt. And then you have like this media gaslighting. They're lazy. They just don't want to work hard. And then they end up getting pushed into other sectors of the economy because they can't get a job in their industry, their profession. They end up working service jobs, food delivery, like we covered before. Things like going to be able to succeed. And the thing is, it's okay if this is a temporary thing over the next 2 to 3 years, which I think it could be. But if this is millions of people over the course of many years, you're just going to have radicalization, like radicalized socialists marching through the streets or right-wing radicals, things like that. That's what you're going to have, right? It just won't end well for the establishment. And the purpose of any leadership in any country, in any system, is that you've got to have some level of decent life for the average person, right? And you've got to encourage the average person to at least put in effort to run a functioning system and contribute to society. But if so many people are trying to contribute and they can't because of this economy being so dysfunctional, then you're going to have major social issues, right? You're going to have major social and civil unrest. And this is the thing, it can for many people, doing several interviews just to get one job that you might get rejected for in the last stage of that interview. It can be very difficult for people. Now let's go through the last little clip here.
Or as they I want to see what happens on the back end of quiet cracking. Is it loud cracking? Is it people just losing it? Is it people just not coming in? But something eventually is going to have to happen is that there's going to have to be a mass change in people feeling fulfilled. I think that is one. People will get up and come to work every single day if they feel like they're doing something that has meaning to them. But if it doesn't mean it, in some of the articles I read, they were saying, well, we could have better training. Because a lot of people said that bad workplace environment was something that bothered them, why they're quietly cracking up, and I'm kind of with this, but I think it has to be proper training. I've had jobs and I've sat through a lot of training, and the more corporate-y trainee it is, the less it matters. I've also worked at places, for example, I worked somewhere and they had a leadership training. It wasn't about leadership at the job. It was about leadership in life. It was beside the company, and they were just coming in talking about being a better person. And we all left so motivated and wanted to implement some of the things they talked about at work and in your home life. Training like that, I think, is way more than a lot of this corporate stuff they do on the computer. Okay.
Award Bossman Tilo, who's making some good points right now. So let's go through it, right? So the thing is, things are getting worse and worse. How does it, and that's what he's talking about, if they're going to be loud cracking, which we just saw in a clip just before this where people are snapping, right? People have had enough. People are looking for deeper levels of fulfillment, right? They want to work a job or have an income source that gives them a decent lifestyle and a long-term income stability, but they want other things. They want community, they want family, they want to focus on their culture, their race, their religion, their national culture, their national identity. They just don't need, in my opinion, more pointless corporate training, more management giving them fake deep speeches. We've all had to sit through management, or even worse, when a company hires some external person to give some kind of big lecture about life. I remember when management do this, or even I remember earlier on in my career when I was working as a junior analyst at a European investment bank, we had these big work dinners and being massive conference halls, and someone who was a rower, who did some rowing trips and they did some adventure expeditions, were giving us lectures on the meaning of life and how, it's all about challenges and things like that, which has some validity, but a lot of it's just corporate mumbo jumbo, and they paid someone thousands of dollars to give you a lecture about life. I'd rather just spend that time doing my own thing outside of work hours rather than having to stay late at work for this work dinner. And this is what happens to people. People want flexible working because they want to live life on their terms, even if it compromises their career, because they don't have the ability over the long term in some of these jobs. Many people feel isolated, they feel work, and they feel like they can't trust anybody. So what they end up doing is just keeping to themselves, right? They're dealing with cancel culture at work, false allegations every week. By the way, in the UK, if you check the news, there's always some guy, some celebrity, even a low-level celebrity, a man getting cancelled by some woman making some type of excuses about, he made her feel awkward. So you really have the compounding effect of all these type of issues. It's not just one thing where we can say, oh, it's all about the economy's bad, they can't find a job. It's really a compounding of all these issues. And this is what happens at the end of the day. You have the age of office paranoia, where layoffs, AI, and job insecurity are terrorizing workers, right? Workers are really feeling paranoid, and they're paranoid about all these different things, cancel culture included, which is impacting their productivity, right? And many people are hoarding knowledge to stay indispensable, which means that employees are keeping information to themselves, keeping work projects to themselves to hope that gives them some job stability, and they don't end up getting fired because they're seen as valuable or essential for the company's operations. Here it says here, miasma of new stresses is permeating white-collar jobs, the threat of AI, stricter return to the office pushes, and a new hardcore work culture that is getting rid of middle managers, which I've covered in other videos. There's too many layers of middle management who are losing their jobs now. And there's the great flattening, which means there's going to be more senior management and more junior people. The same way they're getting rid of the middle class, and you're having a rich and a poor, you're having senior management and lower level employees, but no people in the middle, or reduced people in the middle, right? So there's lots of pressure on people, right? It's not just layoffs or cancel culture, right? It's like you can't really want around you. You've got here workers who are feeling disempowered, which, you know, is coming on their research. See, one of the main issues here that is leading to job hugging, people staying in jobs that aren't actually, that they aren't happy with, right? People are quite cracking in jobs they don't like, is because hiring is slowed. So people can't job hop, people can't go to another opportunity and maybe breathe easy for a couple of years before they job hop again. Their hiring is slow, that people are getting stuck in jobs and they're not getting promotions. Promotions have slowed down significantly. Here we've got someone called Monica, right? And she ended up losing her job. How did she lose her job? She works as a copywriter, and she was organizing RTO, return to the office, for her employees. She was going to have a party for her co-workers, and on that day she was informed that she had lost her job. She lost her job twice in 2 years. She worked at 2 different companies and got laid off twice, right? And she just got a good performance review. And I've seen this happen many times where companies are completely ruthless. They'll give you good performance reviews and then they'll still fire you, or they'll dispose of you conveniently. They'll come up with some excuse to blame you for, right? And she didn't really notice the warning signs, even though she should, given she has a lot of experience. There were warning signs, there were budget cuts in her department, they were asking her to do more or less, and the advertising budget shrank. And this is what I encourage you to do. Look out for the warning signs. They're talking about restructuring your company. Is your manager talking about how they need to make cuts, or they're giving more work to less people? What's going on, right? Can they not hire new people? That's obviously that the business isn't growing, and not only will they not hire more people, they may be making cuts to people who are already working at the company. She says here, it's really hard to go to work every day and know you may not have a future here no matter how hard you work. And this is the reality, right? You're gonna be these jobs, and because she got laid off twice in 2 years, can you imagine on her third job she's gonna find that she's still looking for? She's gonna have the constant fear and anxiety every day that, you know, her job could any moment. And this is what many people are dealing with. That's when people become more and more detached from their jobs and depressed, in a sense, because they're like, okay, well, my job isn't, what's the point of me being too invested in the work? Let me just figure out the bare minimum I have to do. And there's a useful piece of advice here. It says, working harder is good advice when a promotion or raise seems realistic. And this is what I advise you all the time. Don't work hard and burn yourself out if there's clearly no sign of a promotion. If you haven't had discussions with your manager, and I help my clients with this all the time, is if there's a realistic signs of promotions coming up and your manager says you're up for a promotion, don't go and work all the way hard. Just kind of do something slightly the average, keep your job. But there's no point burning yourself out working hard if there's clearly no indication of a promotion or a pay rise. Now, this very interesting way that they end this article, it says, I realized that I can cultivate a sense of purpose and creative challenge and intellectual challenge from other things in my life. And this is so important to point out, because this is what's happening with a lot of people. They're realizing they can't find their life meaning and purpose in their job, even though it's taking up all their time. So they try to find it from other things, maybe spending more time in family, their relationship, their fitness. There's tons of guys out there who, even though they work their job and they try to do a good job, they really find all their fulfillment by going to the gym. Their job becomes the chore and their fitness becomes the main focus in their life. And this is so common these days, right? So many people are disillusioned with the workplace environment. They're really looking for fulfillment outside of work.